people? I'm gonna move up this seat here. What's going on, people? I am back with a new video, a solo video actually, and it is about my favorite group of all time. Y'all seen I done got in the video and started dancing, acting crazy, but I wanted to do a video on my favorite group of all time. I feel like nobody is touching them when it comes to the O'Jays. I love them. And looky. Ha ha! See, I told y'all I like the vinyl stuff. So, of course, I got my vinyl and a picture of them, of course. And, yeah, dang, man, I need to work on my insanity some more. I'm out of breath. Jesus Christ. But a little liquor help. But I wanted to talk about them, my favorite group. Like I said, the O'Jays. I love them. They were very truthful. They were very soulful. They talked about current events. They were very current. They were very soulful. They dancing, their choreography. They just had it. And it started because of them. We have so many groups because of them. And I wanted to do a video. They get the recognition they deserve. They are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They are respected. They got, you know, the Soul Train Humanitarian Award. They got a BET, but the biggest one of all, they was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2005. Were very well deserved. Very well deserved. But I wanted to, you know, start off with a little bit of history. We're going to groove a little bit in this video. We're going to groove a lot in this video for me because I love them and I love the dance and I love to dance to their music. I love it. But I want to give y'all a little bit of background about the O'Jays, talk about them a little bit. So, well, the history of the O'Jays begins, I will say, because now, I'm coming off the dome with some of this, but I know them. So if it's a little off, it's a little off. But y'all, hey, I do my research. So don't come at me with no madness. If you're gonna come to me right. That was just a plug-in for people that try me, but hey. So they started as a group called the Triumphs from Ohio. And it was 5 members. It was 5 of them. And then they went to the Mascots. So then they went to Detroit. And they moved to Detroit, if I'm not mistaken. And they moved to Detroit, and they was going to sign, actually, with Berry Gordy, which is crazy. That's something, doing my research, that I never knew about them. But actually, it didn't work out. So they decided to go with Berry Gordy's wife at the time. Hello. At the time, they went with his wife, and her name was Thelma Gordy. Now, Thelma Gordy is Hazel Gordy's mother, which Hazel Gordy is the one that married Jermaine Jackson. So that's just a little bit of trivia for y'all. I want to throw that in there a little bit. And they decided to sign with them. Now, the label did not like that name. They did not like the Mascots at all. They didn't like the Mascots because back then, to me, I don't think that they had their own sound. I think, you know, the sound that they had, to me, when I went back and started listening to the early O'Jays and the early Mascots, as I call them, because they weren't O'Jays, because I feel like they didn't have their own sound. I felt like they sounded a lot like the Drifters of the 50s, and I think they sounded a little like that, and I think they didn't have their own sound. But this was their really first song that really got them noticed, and it's called Lonely Drifter, and it was a top 10 for them, a top 40 hit for them. Walter will definitely let you know that. I'll let you give a little sample of it. You see what I'm saying? It's just very... Like, to me, that didn't give me anything. I wouldn't have fell in love with them either because I felt like we had too many of those groups out there, and I felt like the O'Jays didn't have their own sound. But I wanted to give y'all a little bit of what kind of got them there. So obviously the label did not like the name. So, you know, their manager at the time, his name was Eddie OJ. So they said, they couldn't find a name for them. So they said, well, let's call them them OJ boys for right now. So, and actually it stuck. So they said, why not call ourselves the OJs? So by then, it's 4 members now. Now it's dying down because I don't want to name each, because it started out with 5 and then now we're at 4. I'm going to name the 3 that I think we all know. And so they went to, they got their name. So then they started performing at the Apollo Theater with the Intruders. Now, if any of you guys know who the Intruders is, the Intruders, my favorite song from them is Cowboys to Girls. If any of you know about the Intruders, Cowboys, Girls, I love that song. One of my favorite songs, actually. But I think if anybody knows the Intruders, anybody knows this one. So they were on the Apollo stage with them, and if it was the Intruders that introduced the OJs to Gamble and Huff. And Gamble and Huff are legendary producers. They wrote and produced for Teddy Pendergrass, the OJs, of course, Hal Melvin, the Blue Notes, and a lot of people like that. So, but they wasn't as big yet. They really didn't get known just yet. And when I went back and did some research, I saw that Gamble and Huff said what they really liked about the OJs was Walter and Eddie's voice. Like, they loved it. It got them, like, it matched. It matched, like it needed to be on a record with each other. And by then, you had the 4 members. But then one of the members said that he was leaving, but he was coming back. But they didn't call them and never came back. So now we have the 3 members that we all know and all up loving. And that is Eddie Levert, William Powell, and Walter Williams. The 3 OJs that's in this thing right here. Boom! That's Eddie, that's William, and that's Walter. Yeah. So they got them, and I think William and Huff found the sound that the OJs needed. So they signed them to, before I go to what the first song that we all know that really catapult the OJs into stardom, they signed them to the Philadelphia International Records, and we already, by then, it was already Hal Melvin, the Blue Notes, I think. It might have not been, but it might have been. I think they might have had them, but I don't think they really signed them yet. So I think maybe the OJs was the first one up to bat, because they already had the Intruders, because they produced Cowboys and Girls, like I said. And they signed them, and it was just the 3. So they knew how to blend them 3 voices together. And the first song that we all know is this. Yes, that's the first hit that we know that catapulted the OJs. That was their first single off that first classic album entitled Backstabbers. And I, doing my research, of course, and I went back and they performed it on Soul Train. And Soul Train wasn't even that big yet. But it was big, but it wasn't that huge yet. But they performed it on there, and their steps was on point. Oh, man, like, it is amazing. It is amazing. So many people use that sample. So many people use that sample today. So many people. And I think the most I think everybody would know if you're into the R&B world and R&B and soul and neo soul. I think everyone would know this. Oh, that sounds good, don't it? That beat is ridiculous. So, by then, you know, that's the OJ's first biggest hit. Now we know them as the OJ's. And so back to this first album. It had, you know, Backstabbers on there, and they definitely had one of their biggest hits that everybody kind of loved. And you know, to be honest with you, it's kind of the songs that I really don't like. I mean, I like it, but I'm not a big fan of it, and it's this one. So that was the song that talked about unity, and it was the OC with songs like Backstabbers and Love Train. OJ's talked about current issues, like they wanted unity, and we wanted unity, and really the black community, we wanted unity. We wanted to be on the same level as everyone else. We wanted to get treated the same way. So with Love Train, they figured they can do that. Everybody can get on the train and be happy and have and just party together and be a unity and get on this love train. Let's love one another. And then Backstabbers was for everybody. You always had that friend that's going to backstab you and be ridiculous and be horrible and backstab you and be so evil and mean. And they made a song about it. Now, even though they didn't write any of these songs, and Walter let it be known that Gamble and Huff never really let them write anything. They just let them be the artists because they knew if they let them write, they would get their publishing. And back then, people were scamming. But anyway, but Walter let you know that in an interview that I read that he did. And, and then another big song off that album. Now, I need to talk about this song for a little bit because everybody in my family are dancers. Everybody are dancers in my family except my grandma. My Uncle Bernard is a dancer. My mother is a dancer. I'm a dancer. My grandfather was a dancer. We all like to dance. But my grandma is she's not really with us. But she's been in the family for so long. Her and my grandfather got together. After a while, they was like a Whitney and Bobby. Not drug related. We ain't going to do that. But Whitney started to get a lot more rhythm when she got with Bobby. So my grandmother started getting a lot of rhythm. So with this song, every time I'm at home and I'm with them, and I always say I want to hear the OJs. Everybody in my family knows I want to hear the OJs. Every time we're drinking and sipping and getting our drink on and chilling as a family, I always want to hear the OJs. So the first song the first song that we always play because we know she'll get up and start dancing and it's funny, is this one. I can imagine my grandma. What? Come on, Grandma. Hey, if you watching this, I know you gonna groove with me though. Hey. Oh, Grandma, I know you grooving a little bit. But yeah, that's one song my grandmother will get out the chair and start two-stepping a little bit. It's so funny. It is hilarious, but it's a good thing to see. She loves that song. That's one of her favorite OJ songs. And, that's that. So then the album that I was introduced to the OJs was the Ship Ahoy album. And the Ship Ahoy album I think that has the most hits on that album, if I'm not mistaken. But the way I was introduced to them in that way, because one day I was in my grandma's china cabinet, and she had the 8 tracks in there. And the 8-tracks are in there, and the records she normally kept at the bottom, but the 8-tracks at the top. So it's a Friday, and our family on Friday normally comes in. Everybody, you know, gets themselves together, and we eat, and then the music begins. That's why I love so much music. And I pulled out, was it a red 8-track, if I could remember, a red 8-track, and it was the Ship Ahoy album. It was red, but the cover on it was them. And the Ship Ahoy album really meant a lot, dealing with slavery. And now, if we're going to talk about some slavery, oh, Lord, my grandfather will talk about that. But I'm going to get to that. So I told my mom, Mom, can we listen to this? Can we listen to this? She was like, sure. You know, she was like, sure. So, you know, back then, I asked my mom, what are these things? And she said, well, they're called 8-tracks. I said, why are they so big? Like, I'm like, Mom, we can't rewind them when she put it in. And so the album was definitely not in the beginning, but it was in the middle of this song, which this song is amazing. This song is amazing. So when that song came on, I said, Mom, I was like, Mom, what are they talking about? Like, you know, you're 7 years old, so I really don't know what. I'm thinking they just saying, you know, just clap your hands. I mean, they are, but it was a very religious song. And my mom said it's a very gospel song. It's gospel, but with a beat. And, you know, I said, oh, wow. I was like, oh, okay, so that's, you know, that's what that is. And she was like, yeah. She was like, it's about, you know, Jesus. But then I really didn't know who God was. I knew him because I had that spirit, but I really didn't know him. So that came on, and I was just like, Ma, I like this song. And she was like, oh, the album ain't done. She was like, oh, there's so many songs. And then the Ship Ahoy song comes on. And this is how Ship Ahoy goes. It starts in the beginning very, like we're on the ship, and that's us coming from Africa. And that's what really the album really was about. It was very creative. So that album, so when that comes on, oh man, in the house, my grandfather starts talking about slavery and talks about a lot of that, and which is nothing wrong with that, but it seemed like every time that song came on, that just started something. But the next song is actually my favorite, absolute favorite OJ song of all time. The bridge of this song with Walter and Eddie shows, it definitely proves to me why Gamble and Huff fell in love with their voices. It's like I call them the dynamic duo, even though William Powell is in the group, but I just felt like them two, their voices just meant for each other. And this is the song. Hold on, I'm going to get y'all to the bridge. I'm sorry, I get into it, y'all. I absolutely love that song. Eddie bodied that song. If y'all have a chance, go listen to that song all the way through. It's 5 minutes and 35 seconds. It's so bad that I even know how long it is. So bad. But I love that song with Walter, and even with William in the back, but you really hear Walter and and Eddie, and that bridge, oh my God, it was so amazing. But I think the two biggest hits off that Ship Ahoy album was this, and I think everybody kind of knows it's two of them. Now the first one, everybody knows, is self-explanatory. When you hear that beat, I had to throw it back a little bit because that did sound good. Hit my little sippy on having my crown and coat, but it's all good. So then the other one is this one. I'm gonna go back. So that was the two biggest hits, but I think everybody knows that from the OJs. But I think everybody kind of in the new school, the new ones that's watching this, because the new ones, I'm trying to give them a career of this amazing group. So I'm trying to give them, but I think everybody would know this. So, but Aaron Hall, oh, he bodied that. Oh my God, he bodied that thing. He bodied that song. So, it comes to that. So, then now they had their album Survival. And that Survival, I mean, everybody kind of knows Survival. I mean, it wasn't really a big known OJs. I wouldn't hear anybody that doesn't really know all the OJ's music, but know they hits. They wouldn't name the Survival album, but you know, this is one of them.
Help me, for me, help me.
So yeah, so that was, but the biggest hit off that album is another one of my favorite OJ songs. Every time that beat comes on and it rocks, oh my God, like I will stop drinking my liquor and get up on that floor and start moving. For real. But no, I'll probably hold it in my hand and start jumping. But anyway, watch this. It's one of their favorites for me. I'm getting the click clap on y'all. Hey, come on. Hey. Ha. I wish y'all could see my face, but it's all good. Hey, ha. Now that, y'all, goes in. But, you know, I absolutely love that song. I absolutely love that song. I was click clapping. I wish y'all could see my face. But it's all good. Y'all was seeing I was getting my groove on. So, but EPMD that I was listening to yesterday, I was vibing to them yesterday. And I was listening to the greatest hits, and I forgot they did a sample of this song, because I was trying to find who else did a sample of this song, and I found that they did it, and it was this.
Jam, I had no idea that the record was slam. It did look good without radio play. Maybe at night, but no airplay in the day. I couldn't understand why, to be exact. Her music was good, and I was far from whack.
That's crazy. Like, that was crazy. And I realized that they did it, and they used that beat the right way. But I swear, when that song comes on, y'all, I goes in. Like, I do my thing on that song. And I think those were the two really hits off that one that was for them. But the album that my mom let me keep the album cover, I was so excited, was Family reunion. Yeah, baby. Family reunion. Everybody knows the family reunion. I think every black family, hey, I'm not even going to say that, every family, when they get together, definitely have this song has to be played. Like, it just has to. It's just... You know, every time I think about this song, I think about Poetic Justice. Couldn't be. But everybody has to play that song. Classic song. Was it a big, huge hit for them? It wasn't as big as, you know, other songs on the album, but it's a very known song. And I just love how Eddie was talking about, you know, how the mothers are being to their kids and the fathers showing their young ones, and they got to grow up to be like them and keep the tradition going. It's a beautiful record, beautiful record. Another one of my favorite OJ songs has to be Living for the Weekend. Now, Gamble and Huff, they did their thing on this song because it starts out slow. Like, and I play the song every Friday. I played it even before I started even doing this video because you're living for the weekend. It's Friday. It's like they made it, you know, the beginning of it was slow, so that was your Monday through Thursday. And then when it got fast, it's your Friday. It was amazing. I'm gonna play it because y'all, I have to play it. So. Hey. See, I wish I could have had it ready for y'all, but. See, so I love how that song just goes. Like I said, it's from Monday to Thursday. It's like really slow, and that's your Monday to Thursday. And your Friday, you just getting down, and then it goes back slow again. Cause it's like your Friday, your Saturday, and is over. Now it's back to Monday. So I love that song. But I think one of the most covered songs by the OJs is this song right here. And everybody covers it, but nobody can do it like Eddie. Today, I was watching nonstop this performance that the OJs did on Soul Train, Stairway to Heaven, and they let them sing live. If Eddie did not sing the hell out of that song, he was singing for life on that record, that song, on that stage. And Walter was just so smooth, and William was just so, he was smooth too, but Eddie was just that, ooh, even the crowd was going crazy. If y'all ever need, please go back and find that video. It's Stairway to Heaven live on Soul Train. And say I sent you, because, oh my God, Eddie bodied that. Oh my God. And it goes like this. Yeah. Don't that sound good, y'all? But I must say, who did body that song, that redid it, was Tyrese, Trey Songz, and Johnny Gill at the BET 2009 BET Awards when they honored the OJs and when they honored them. Let me tell you something. I'm not the biggest Trey Songz fan as a singer, but he held his own with Johnny Gill and Tyrese. And when they got the Stairway to Heaven, Tyrese, man, he went in. Dude took off the jacket. Yo started going in. Like he had the crowd on their feet. Because them hard notes that Eddie be hitting on that song, Tyrese did his thing, though. Tyrese definitely did his thing. The next album is Messes in Our Music. The only two kind of songs that we kind of know from that album is this one. We got a message in our music. We got a message in our music. So that, and my favorite artist of all time, Mary J. Blige, kind of got her. She did an interlude on the Love and Life album that she kind of used that as inspiration, that song, and she did a nice little interlude, and I'll play a little bit of it. Actually, one of my favorite interludes from Mary, that message in our music. Very, 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 very positive. Very positive. And I feel like we should all have a message in our music. We should have a message. Like, it should be a message in anything that you do. You need to cater to people. You have to cater to a message. And I don't think we have a lot of that today. A lot of messages is not in our music these days. It's not even about that anymore. And that's why I love doing these soulful videos, just to show people it is all right to love soul music. I know with my friends, they get tired of me because a lot of the stuff, I'll be like, y'all, can we listen to some OJs or something? Like, I want to hear something that makes me feel good. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of the music today really doesn't do that. And I feel like we're losing that. And I feel like that's what the OJs maintained through their whole career, is messages in their music. Like, every song, they had a message. But going to that. But the next song it's a classic. It's definitely a classic. It wasn't a big pop song, but it was definitely a big R&B song. It was #1 in 1977, and everybody kind of know as soon as the beat comes on, everybody starts singing it. So here it is. You're my darling, darling baby. You're my sweet and tender love. I'm trying to sound like Walter. I try to sound like you, Walter, but I know I can't. But I try to sound like you. Hey, I did the best I can. But anyway, and the person that remade that song, because I tried to find out who sampled a lot of them, so a lot of people can understand that where these songs come from. You'd be like, oh, snap, he did. Big Pun, the original I'm not a player, not the I don't wanna be a player no more, I'm not a player, I just crush it out. The original version on the Capital Punishment album, which is a classic by the way. I'll go back there and listen to the original I'm Not a Player, and it definitely used the bass line to darling, darling baby. Check it out, check it out. But this is actually the last album with William Powell. He died of cancer in 1977, and he was definitely a void missing. Now, I don't know the other guy. I'm sorry, I just don't know the other guy's name. I don't know him, but William Powell, it kind of hit, but they kept it moving. They kept it moving, and they got a new guy. And I forgot what his name was, and it's sad, even though that I did all this research and I didn't get the name of that guy. But he entered the group, and their next album, they did an album after that, The Traveling of Light, I think. I'm not too sure what it was called, but it didn't have too many big hits off of it. But the next album really was, they had 3 classes on there. The first one is a song I thought about a girl. Come to find out, my mother, the music historian that she is, it was about a dog. one of the writers' dog died, and they did a song about it. Now, when you thought he was singing about, you thought he was singing about a girl. He was actually singing about a dog. I did not know that. And I did my and Mom was, she is more of a historian than I am. She is amazing when it comes to, learning what these songs is and giving them to me about why they were made and who made them and all that. She's amazing when it comes to the historian. So I'm definitely going to get her on the show, and we're going to definitely do another video with her. But she told me that this song, now, you would have never known that this song was about a dog. Hold on. I'm getting there. Give me a second. There we go. Like, I did not know that song was about a dog. Like, wow. Like, the things that you find out about songs, you would never know. So that song was about that. Another one of their big songs that a lot of people like to use, and they use a lot, and they absolutely, people kill it. Like, even though on the performance that I told y'all about with Tyrese and Trey Songz and Johnny Gill, and they did that, this song, they did their thing on, and let me tell you something. Eddie's voice, he is my second favorite male singer of all time after Sam Cooke. Like, his voice is gospel, soulful, all that put together. Nobody can sing a song like Eddie LeVert. Nobody. But this is the one here. And I'm going to go this way. And I cry, you cry, we cry together. And I cry, you cry, we cry together. Lil Mo and Ja Rule. I just thought about that. Off the top of the dome, I just thought about that. Lil Mo bodied that record. She bodied it. She made that song to me. Because Ja Rule, he was alright, but Lil Mo made that record. Like, she made that song. And them vocals, she bodied it. And another one, I think the last song that, about the OJs, that I think everybody kind of knows and everybody kind of knows about. And you know what? I'm not going to play it. It was a big hit, but it's not one of my favorites, but everybody loves it. And it's Forever Mine, woo, doom, 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 oh, baby. I try to sound like Walter so much, but that was the last kind of big hit for them until, the new stuff started coming in. You had hip-hop started to come in, and you had all that, and I know what song I did miss. I can't believe I missed this song, and it was a big hit for them. This. Shoo-doo, shoo-doo-doo, shoo-doo-doo, shoo-shoo, oh, good love. That's all right. I've been drinking. It's all good. So, yeah. So that was kind of all the hits for the OJs. I think they stand the test of time. They had amazing music. I love them. I love the OJs to death. If you ask anybody that knows me, I will play them forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Like, I love them that much. Like, for real. Like, their music just does something to me. And when I knew I was going to do this video, I was listening to them all week. I was listening to them all week so I can get into that flavor. Because when I'm doing videos, I want to get into that headspace. I want to get into their world, into their music, and I want to be able to show to y'all that, you know what I'm saying? Yo, he knows, like, he knows what he's talking about. And I just love the OJs. I love these guys. I think they are a big part of my life. You know, I asked my mom a couple of days ago, I said, Mom, why did Grandma and Granddad really love the OJs? And she said, did they like the OJs? Did you see the collection? So she was like, why do you think you like the OJs? He played it enough, so I played it enough, so you loved it. So that is the reason why I love the OJs. I love them to death. And, you know, I want to maybe give y'all a little bit of facts that maybe you didn't know. And it is a couple of facts about the OJs that maybe you didn't know. And it was that Mother, Father, Sister, Brother played on Love Train. On Love Train. I swear I wish I had the music set, but Love is a Message. Or the song for the Soul Train that y'all know, everybody knows. They played on Love Train. Like I said, they were going to sign with Motown. That I did not know. That was a big shock for me. I found out that Eddie wanted to quit the business before they got signed with Gamble and Huff because he thought it never was going to work. By then, there was already 11 years in, and he felt like nothing was going to happen. But you see what God does? God sometimes is not ready. He's not ready for you to have it at that moment, and he gives you that time. And boy, when the OJ started, it blew up. Another thing is, the OJs, I think, performed every one of their hits on the Soul Train. If you want to go back and look at what, you know, all their hits, they performed them on Soul Train. I literally went and looked at all their hits that they performed, and they performed every last one of them on Soul Train. It was crazy. Like, to me, they were Soul Train. That's why Don Cornelius, when they got their award in 2009, he had to go up there and give them their award. Like, he had to, because they were Soul Train. They went up there every time they had a big song, they performed it. Choreography was on point by Alkins. It started with a C and it's Alkins. His choreography with them, he made it work, man. Their choreography was amazing, was epic. Like, it was epic to me. Them three, they would be rocking. I wish y'all could see a lot more than I'm doing, because, man, they rocking. But another fact that you maybe didn't know about the OJs was that this group wrote a lot of their songs with Gamble and Huff, and also, you know, they were songwriters on the label. And I never knew that they did, and they wrote a lot of some of their hits. Look at this. McFadden and Whitehead. I did not know that they wrote some of the OJ songs. They were signed to the label, but Gamble and Huff only wanted them to be songwriters. But they ended up feeling like they can go solo, and they did this big club song that we all know that will get the party rocking. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the loop. Hey, we got it. So that was really my video that I wanted to do. I hope I did a good job. Hopefully you guys were really entertained. I hope you guys were entertained. I hope you guys loved it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you really liked it. And I think I'm going to go out with a little jug with the OJs. One of the songs that I was going in when I got here. So on that note, y'all, I'm gonna say I'm out, but I'm gonna give y'all a little jug. Hey, come on, ha, ha, do da da, do. Ha, come on, hey, I'm out, y'all. Peace. Y'all keep rocking. Hey, keep rocking, y'all, and I'm out. Peace.